Hello everyone and welcome to another movie reaction. I don't do that many movie reactions on this channel. I've said before, you know, I'm not as much of a movie guy. I'm a TV show guy. I'm an anime guy. Obviously this is anime, but it's an anime movie. So I tend to like watching things in the 20-minute chunks, and TV shows are my ideal way of taking in content. But every once in a while, I do want to put movies up on this channel, and people tend to like movie reactions. They get varying levels of engagement, but they often have a bit of a higher ceiling on certain ones. So I do like to put them up on this channel, and also there's some things that, you know, I think I would also like to be in the conversation about. I want to, when people are talking about it, I want to know what they're talking about. And today we're jumping into one of those things. Today we're doing Look Back. I was gonna do Look Back when it came out, which is probably like, I don't know, maybe less than 6 months ago. But I had an absolutely packed schedule, and I also I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it at all. But now it's been enough time. I'm still kind of thinking about it, and was thinking about watching it anyway. And I had sort of a spot open up on my schedule, and I thought, you know what? Let's just put up the movie reaction and see how it goes. So if you guys enjoy this reaction, if you enjoy any of my vibes throughout this video, please make sure to go check out some of my other videos. I hope that you find other things that you enjoy. I hope that you continue to like my vibe, and I hope that you stick around. I'd love to see your comments on this channel in the future. Continue to help supporting me. But we're going to talk about Look Back and what I know about it before we get into it. Because this is a movie that was based on a one-shot by Fujimoto, I believe, who is the mangaka for Chainsaw Man. And so I have watched Chainsaw Man on this channel, right? I did Chainsaw Man reactions on this channel. So I'm very familiar with Chainsaw Man, and really loved it. I haven't read the one-shot this is based on, obviously, but I have actually read one of his one-shots before. He released a one-shot called Goodbye Airy, I believe, and that came out after Look Back came out. And I remember when that came out, I had no idea what it was, but I think someone posted like, oh, one-shot by the maker of Chainsaw Man. And I went, oh, cool, and I clicked on it, and I just started reading it, and I read the whole thing. And I remember it being pretty good. I remember it also, like, that sort of style of one shot isn't as much my style. So you know, I had sort of like overall mixed emotions reading it, but I could tell while reading it, I was like, wow, this is really good. But I almost just kind of want to watch it as a movie more than you know, take it in as a one shot. So I'm very excited to see this, because I know that his style lends very well to these sorts of stories, and I know that he's very, like, he's a big cinema lover as well, because he like, there was like the Chainsaw Man OP is like full of cinematic references and stuff, because Fujimoto himself loves cinema, loves, like, I think especially like American cinema and stuff. So I'm very curious to see like what his style is with this series, or with this movie, and like what, you know, how it comes about. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what we're gonna be really in for. I've seen pictures of like posters, key visuals from this of like people drawing, and that's kind of it. That's all I've seen. So I don't know. Like, maybe it's about a mangaka. Maybe it's about someone who is an artist. I really have no idea. Yeah, I mean, with the title Look Back, it's maybe about them going through their memories or something. No idea. I'm kind of expecting emotion, but I'm gonna hold off on that feeling until we actually get to sort of emotion. I don't like to go into things going like, oh, I'm gonna cry, because then I tend to not cry. Especially if the emotion is sad. If it ends up being a very sad story, that's less likely to make me cry. If it ends up being a very heartwarming story, that's more likely to make me cry. And you can see all of that. I have a playlist on this channel called Videos Where I Cry, but you can see all of those times. But yeah, I'm excited to jump into this. We are going to be watching the English dub, and I want to hear no complaints about that. I've got it in the title. I hope it's in the title. And that's the way I'm doing things, and that's the way I like to do things sometimes. There's plenty of both sub and dub reactions on this channel. I choose on a per thing basis, on a per series, per movie basis. And for this movie, you know, I felt like dub sounded good, so I went for dub. And that's my choice. Anything else that I want to talk about? No, if you like One Piece and you haven't checked out my One Piece channel, after you finish this video, if you liked it, then go and check out my One Piece channel, because it's really great over there. We're just finishing up Dressrosa, or I just finished recording the Dressrosa arc, so we're really in deep in One Piece over there, so go check that out. And finally, if you want to watch the full movie with me, you don't want to have the pesky edits in between and stuff, you can go to my Patreon account where I will be posting the full-length reaction of this movie. So you can sit down and watch the whole movie with me. You have to sync it up with your own footage, obviously, that's the law, but you can watch the whole movie with me. It's very worth it often to do that, I think, because then you don't have to worry about like, oh, are my favorite scenes gonna get cut out, or can I hear the dialogue properly? It will all be perfect on your end if you watch the full length. So yeah, I think we're good to go. I think we're gonna start this. This is Look Back, the movie. Let's do it. Something I like about this movie looks like it's under an hour. And as someone who's not a movie guy, that sounds preferable to me, honestly. Oh my gosh. Genuinely making me dizzy. This is a cool opening shot. Got a lot of manga on the shelves there. Cool. I like being able to see the reflection. It's good framing of that shot to show us what they look like. Okay, it's a little it's a 4 comma. 4 comma? How do you pronounce it? 4 comma. First kiss. Oh my god. Cool, so we get to see like the 4 comma animated. Oh my god, the love heart in blood. Oh my god. Jesus.
Alright, folks. Show your parents if you get a chance.
Is it like a school paper? Oh, look at the character animation. It's really nice.
5 minutes. It turned out pretty good for not even trying, if I do say so myself. Be a mangaka, huh? Yeah, I mean I could.
Oh my god, is it actually going to be about
drawing all day
mangaka?
sounds like a waste of time. You're really good at sports too.
Either way, you should give me your autograph.
Yeah, okay, if you really want. Can I get one too?
Mind giving one of those to Kyomoto?
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 Never heard of him. It takes a lot of practice to get any good. Can a scaredy cat who doesn't even come to school handle drawing manga on
Oh
a
my
deadline?
god, you got such a big head.
Alright.
Are you not in the paper? Ooh. That's some good art. Different styles. Some people might prefer your style.
Chiller. Fujino's strip looks kind of mid compared to Kyomoto's stuff.
Oh, kind of mid. Oh my god, cool effect. It feels like the entire school is, yeah, crowding.
You could do this for a living if you wanted to.
I mean, yours is good for how young you are.
Fujino's strip looks kind of mid compared to Kyomoto's stuff. Just saying.
Kyomoto is has a very good style. Someone else can also be impressive.
Kyomoto gets to work on drawing at home. That's the reason she's so good.
You're gonna start cutting class so that you can get better at
Another
drawing?
4th drawing stuff than I am? No way am I gonna let her beat me!
This animation! That's really good animation. Damn. I want to have a second life where I can try to get really good at art. Love this music.
Skeleton for practice. Hey, so you
You're
know
working
how we're all
hard.
finally in 6th grade? Be middle schoolers next year. You gonna keep drawing all the time? Oh,
Probably.
yeah. Aren't you too old to be obsessed with this art stuff?
What? Too old?
These days you bail on us. Even when you do hang out, you're just drawing the whole time.
Yeah,
If
I
you
get
don't stop,
your friends
when we
being
get to
kind
middle
of sick
school
of
next
it.
year,
Damn, man. Everyone else is like
coming.
grown out of the phase of like
Wait for
loving
me.
that talent. I just realized Fujino Kyomoto. If you fuse them together, that's Fujimoto.
Come on. Sheesh. Yes, milady. 1,000 pardons. Talk, though. How long are you gonna stick with the manga thing?
Just let her
You should come
do
to
it.
karate class with me. We all are. You're holed up in your room all the time. Your test scores are utter crap.
I get being a little worried, but also like maybe you should help her find like a healthy way to continue doing art and practicing and such. Yours is getting way better, Fujino. Whoa! I prefer Fujino's. Genuinely. Because it has, like, character personality. And I'm not, like, an environmental artist kind of guy.
take it. You wanna get some ice cream after school today?
Wow, she's fully
What?
given up.
Yeah, forever.
Damn, man. I wish I could talk to Fujino and say, like, I like your... I like your character drawings. Oh, but... You know, maybe giving up on the obsession is healthier for her.
Hey, Mom, you can throw these out too.
One strip fell.
I can tell you where she lives.
What the heck? How come I have to do it?
Well,
You're gonna meet Fujimoto.
know
I mean,
you
not
stopped back
Fujimoto,
during sixth
Kyomoto.
grade, but from a crusty old teacher.
Yeah, but I'd honestly rather not.
Be a sport. One last request before you're out of here. Yep.
Man, the character animation in this movie is great. The expressions are so good. The movements.
It's unlocked.
I don't know if I would do that. I would just be like, well, she wasn't home. Fuck it. What's this
I'll leave
leading
it by
to?
the front door, okay?
I really don't know what kind of movie this is.
Get or whatever.
Bunch of art books. Holy shit, a lot of fucking art books. Oh, what's she doing? Probably the first time she's drawn in a while.
Finals and Kyoto is in first place by a standing lead.
It's kind of funny.
Whoops.
It's possible Kyomoto... Oh, that's funny. It's possible Kyomoto is like jealous of
Go.
your humor.
Just leave your diploma on the sketchbook.
Like the personality that your
Okay then.
art
Bye.
has. Oh, the animation is so good. Look at that. Holy shit. We're gonna meet Kyomoto finally.
Fujino Sensei.
Sensei. Aww. Makes sense you wouldn't be great at talking to people if you stayed at home all day.
I read all your manga from the very beginning, back when we were both just 3rd graders. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of your manga work.
Oh.
I have an autograph.
Oh, that's very cute. You've got so much paper inside.
Just on my back.
You've got nothing but paper in your house.
Yeah, okay. The Sasaki series in 4th grade, which ran from January to March, but of course you know that. I ran from 5th grade every week, but you did, even though you had to go to class all the time too. Honestly, you. When it comes to manga, Fujino, you're a genius.
Oh. But she's not like believing any of that. She gave up on it completely.
That's why. Why did you stop drawing your strips in the 6th grade? They were so good.
She doesn't know it's because of
The
you.
reason actually, I'm coming up with a story for a manga contest right now.
Oh.
Couldn't waste
No way! Would you show it to me? Please!
Aw.
I really want to see
I like the hair being blown up.
It's all that's left is the actual penciling and inking, and that's easy enough.
Damn, Fujino.
I could show it to you when I'm all done making it.
Oh, I loved her delivery of that line.
later.
What a cute scene. It is sad that Fujino struggles to express herself, I think. I think Fujino struggles to also take criticism and praise. Whoa! This shot! Aww. That's such a unique scene. To simultaneously show off like how ecstatic she is and how weird she is in that animation. Just completely soaked. And also like quickly took off her shoes and rushed upstairs. This is the inspiration she needed.
Welcome back.
Still working, huh? Wait,
Damn.
did you finish the...
It's a piece of cake when you don't go to school.
Ah.
It feels like we're never gonna get all 45 pages done.
Right?
They're
You've
working
been
on it together
drawing
now.
nonstop.
Cool. And that makes sense, like having Kiyomoto do the backgrounds and Fujino do the character animations. That makes so much sense. Not animations. Character art.
You
Cool.
made this while you're in
A
middle
meeting.
school? I'm really impressed.
Well, don't be too impressed.
This
It
reminds
took
me
the
of
two us a
Bakuman.
whole year to get it up.
To finish a manga at all at your age is a significant feat.
Yeah. They probably won't accept it.
Art and story are both top notch.
Oh.
Worst case scenario, it gets honorable mention.
Cool. That's good. Oh, that's so cute.
We were there at the bank. Ta-da! I took out 100,000 yen.
What?
Nice.
You could practically buy a house with that.
Want to? I'm game.
Buy a house with 100,000
Hey,
yen.
let's go out on the
I
town.
wish.
Whatever you want on. We're gonna draw more manga and make a ton of cash.
Oh, look
I
how
don't wanna
cute
spend
they
this
are.
money on too many... Yeah.
They're so cute. I'm scared of where this movie's headed. Don't break my heart by the end of this, please. Can we just have a cute story and have it end cute? Cool. They're at a place called Burger.
But today, I had so much fun going on adventures with you. Thank you for getting me out of my room.
Oh, man.
Thank me with 5,000 yen. Kidding.
Oh my god, they are so adorable. Oh. They're looking at bugs for reference. I hate that. Don't draw bugs into your story. Wow. Cool.
They're letting us do a full series?
Yes, indeed.
Ooh.
As soon as you're done with high school, the boss said.
A full
You've had
series,
7
good.
one-shots published by the age of 17.
Do you not want to do a full series? If you do a full series, there's less time to hang out.
I want to go to an art college.
Oh.
So
She wants
with the manga series.
to go deeper into the art world.
I mean, you'd only be drawing the backgrounds. There's
Well,
nothing I can't have assistants take care of.
I mean, technically, that's
Pointless. It's not like a degree is gonna help with jobs or
the
anything.
tree between them.
Yeah, I know that.
And the
But
tree
And
that has
you'll have
different
to talk to
branching
strangers.
paths.
All the time.
Brave.
Oh, that's
Just
such
when
a
you stick
clever
together,
shot.
It's all
You don't mean that.
You'll be bored out of your skull.
Fujino
Not to mention, there's absolutely no way
needs
you
you
can handle
to.
college life on your own. To the cashier at the convenience store.
I'll practice.
Damn,
But you're still
Fujino.
gonna be you.
Be a better artist.
Oh. Man, I'm gonna be talking about Fujino's personality in the discussion quite a bit, I think. Oh, wait! That's Chainsaw Man. It's Chainsaw Man. That's what she's working on. Except it's Shark Man. Oh, reaching all those peaks. Shark Kick. Wait, what was it Fire Punch or whatever that was before Chainsaw Man that Fujimoto made?
Assistant. Story of my life, right?
Man, I see that so much in manga
It's
related
fast, but it's not a race, you know?
things, people needing more assistance.
No, I'm not trying to rock the boat. We'll talk about it more later.
I mean,
Yeah.
somewhat mature conversation. Is that news report? Is that a man attacked students? What? Oh no. Jesus. Oh god.
Seems to have chosen his targets at random, though police caution that
Check
their
on her.
investigation is still ongoing.
Oh, she's so worried about her. No. Oh no.
We get our own manga series. I want to make sure that the art blows everyone out of the water. Yeah, of course.
this before?
Sorry that I draw so slow.
This
I
must
just
be
wish I could
before.
do it way fast. All right, then the sky's the limit for my artwork too. We'll get better together. All you gotta do is look at my back as I lead the way.
Look at my back. Look back. Oh no. Oh, fuck me. Shit, man. It felt like that kind of movie. That's why I was so scared when we had the cute montages. This fucking bullshit. Oh. The Shonen Jumps there. With your manga on it. Oh.
Because I drew this.
It's not your
On the day we
fault.
met. And it's all because of me.
No, it's not your fault that you encouraged a
I-
girl.
Brought her out of her.
You gave her such a happy life. Well, happy parts of her life at least.
Why'd I ever draw this?
God damn. And that slides under the door.
Excuse me. The school told me to bring you your diploma, so
Ah.
leave it by the front.
Oh. So now we're seeing like an alternate route? Oh my god. It's like now it's giving us a look back, I guess, into what would have happened. Still sees art that inspires her. Still goes to art school. Damn. Gorgeous. Is this the man with the pickaxe? Man enters, sees the student.
Some of the art looked like mine.
Oh. That's what he was doing
What
it
is
for?
that? I put my painting online and you went and stole it, didn't you?
Jesus.
What?
Holy fuck! Oh my god.
That was my idea of mine!
Jesus.
You're just...
Oh my god! The fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck?
Karate at a dojo one town over, right?
Mm.
While I was out on a run, I was all crap, that ain't good. So I karate kicked him into next week. And I fell and broke my leg doing it. I was hoping I could talk to you again later on.
Oh.
Mind if I get your number? I'm not a weirdo, I swear.
Cute.
Yeah, knock yourself out. Like from the newspaper.
And then now they have that connection
Are
again.
you like...
Sorry, miss. We should go now.
Can she come in the ambulance, please, so that they can talk?
Actually, I just picked it up again.
Oh.
When they give me a series, you should totally help me out.
I don't know what to feel about any of this. Yeah, I don't know if I felt so weirdly conflicted about my emotions on something in a while. Like, this is adorable. Oh my gosh. What the fuck? Now it's going back to this and it... This is a crazy story.
I'll kill you!
I'm glad you're not hurt. And with that, my job here is done.
What the heck is this story? Well, that window is why the comic blew back. He's looking back. Oh, it's the signature on her back. I love the swell in the music there. Oh man. I can't do this. I need to hug someone. Oh. Oh. What a cute expression. Oh. Fuck, man. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. Oh. You put up the comic in front of you. Oh, just the empty one? Kind of reminds you where you're coming from and why you do this. At least you get sunlight while you're drawing. This is a good place to draw. Oh my god. I mean, it's somewhat of an optimistic ending. The scenery changes later in the credits, so it gets darker. My gosh, man. That was quite the film. I mean, that movie did a lot right in my eyes, in terms of like, sometimes when going into a movie, there are certain things that I kind of hope for, you know, or I kind of hope is not going to happen. One, I tend to like, because I'm a TV show guy, I like when, you know, when the storytelling is like efficient and like more short term. Like, it's weird. I love long form storytelling, but then with movies, I want them to do it in a shorter amount of time. It's strange. But like with TV shows, I want TV shows to have, you know, I love One Piece. I want TV shows to have over 1,000 episodes. But I like them in smaller chunks. So, but with movies, I really like when a movie can like very efficiently tell a story. And this one, I mean, told a great story in under an hour. It didn't overstay its welcome at all. So that was wonderful. And every second was used well, I feel like. And the other thing is that sometimes when I'm watching like a very sad story, like I always get nervous that the story might just be sad and I might not get much from it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes sad stories, like I've said before, if you're going to write an ending to a story, I genuinely think the default ending to a story should be a happy ending. And that doesn't mean every story should have a happy ending. That means the default. Like, if you are going to stray from a happy ending, you must have like a really good reason to do so, or a really good story to tell. Because if you sort of like, if you're making a sad ending to go like, oh, and this is life, like that doesn't affect me too much. And it feels like when I'm going into a piece of media, for me at least, I want to go into the piece of media, and as an audience, I'm thinking throughout the media like, oh, how do these characters progress because of what's happened here? How do they change? How do they grow? And then how are we going to get to a better place by the end? Because for me, that's like the beauty of storytelling. That's like is being able to see characters go through struggles and come out in a better place. So I get worried sometimes when I'm watching movies that I anticipate, like I was with this movie, even though I hadn't heard much about like the story of this movie, so I didn't know if it was one of those sorts of movies. But from the start of the movie, I was like, oh, this feels like one of the movies where one of the characters is gonna die. So I was really nervous about it. Because I was like, well, then it's gonna be about like how they sort of stick the landing. It was one of the most interesting sticking the landings of these types of stories I've seen. I've seen these types of stories quite a bit. And this one, like, did so in such a strange way. Like, this is such a strange storytelling thing. I can't remember anything about the Goodbye Airy one-shot that I read from him, but I think I do kind of remember it also having like a kind of weird ending, and I'm not using weird derogatorily. I'm actually using weird in kind of a positive fashion, like a weird ending as in it's like it's not expected and it takes some interpretation and it takes some thinking about, but it's not, you know, bad at all. Like, even though I think the exact details of what exactly happens is kind of fuzzy while watching the ending of this movie, I still feel like I got something out of it, and I still feel like I get it. Like, from my reading of this situation, she was struggling, by she I mean Fujino, was struggling with like the idea that her art has no meaning, and that in fact it has negative meaning. It actually like it doesn't just like not help her, it actually hurts. But then, you know, all of this stuff happens, which I'll get into, and then the like 4-coma strip comes out, and then that like gives her the courage to go into that room like curiously, and then she sees the effect that art had on Kyomoto, and it's like, that's like, she was trying to figure out what's the point of art while she was out of the room, and she got in the room and she saw, well, this is what the point of art is. This is like, it wasn't just that Kyomoto, like, you know, you can see one of the results of art. She happened to be at this art school when this guy happened to be there and killed her. But at the same time, like, there were so many other effects of art that you can't ignore. It made her the person that she is, and the person that you really loved as well. It made her that person. It had such an effect on her, and she loved to read your manga, and she loved to draw. I mean, she loved to draw so much she went to art school, and like, so the part of the movie where it goes back and shows us what seems like an alternate version of events had somehow she been able to do like an interstellar thing of trying to convince them not to go, right? Like, had she not left her room at that time, all these events would have played out kind of differently. But the thing is, she still would have gone to art school. She still would have done all of that art. But this is where it gets weird, because in this alternate version of events, Fujino, because she, instead of doing art stuff, went and did the like athletic stuff, because people were like, you can be an athlete and you can take karate or courses or whatever, right? Her sister told her about the self-defense courses or whatever they were. So she went and did that as an alternate thing, and then because of that, instead of being like making a manga series and drawing at that time, she instead happened to be walking past the school and saw the guy and then karate kicked him and shit. It's like that feels like, I guess the point of that is it's is the point... okay, I guess there's a few ways you can read into it, but like my first thought of it is the point of it kind of a ridiculous idea that Fujino, and I want to talk about her character a bit deeper, but Fujino's kind of, in her grief, come up with a justification for how it's her fault, you know? And then in her justification, it's like, yeah, if I wasn't around, and I mean, I don't know if the idea is that this is supposed to be like something that, you know, came to her in her head or whatever, but like the idea of the justification of like, if she hadn't come out of her room that day, if I hadn't put that thing under her door, then she would have gone to art school and stuff because that's who she was, but then I would have gone to karate classes and I would have kicked that guy's butt and then saved her, and then we would have been able to make manga together after that, which is like a very cute idea, but like those are more ridiculous things to happen. That's like a crazy set of circumstances to happen. So like my reading of the idea is like, that's, you know, she's jumping over hurdles and jumping through hoops to blame herself for the situation. And this is why I want to talk about Fujino's character, because the reason she does that is she's got a huge ego. Like, I mean, that's very clear from the opening scenes, obviously, and I know that's not like a shocking take on her character, but she has a huge ego and is so self-centered, but she's self-centered in the way that it cuts both ways, right? She's like self-centered in that she, when people are like paying attention to her and people are looking at her and excited for her and hyping her up, like she is, you know, kind of insufferable almost, you know, she's like not taking it perfectly and she's not humble at all about it, and she and I mean, it's worse obviously when she's young because kids are like that, but yeah, she will be very frustrating about it, and you can see that sort of when she and Kyomoto are having that conversation with the tree between them, which, by the way, I'm gonna go to that fucking shot. That's the best shot in the movie to me. I really love that shot. But you can see in that scene, like, they're having a conversation, and this is like the first time that Kyomoto is actually sort of making a decision for herself. Here's the shot. It's the first time that Kyomoto is actually making a decision for herself and is trying to be more independent. And since it's not sort of, you know, basing herself around Fujino anymore, then Fujino lashes out back at her and starts like yelling at her and is very frustrated. And like, that is selfish. That's why she's doing that, is because Fujino is kind of selfish, or very selfish, and throughout and I mean, that's a flaw of hers. It doesn't mean she's necessarily a bad person, because we're all very complex people. But throughout this whole movie, she was sort of being either rewarded for her selfishness or not, like she wasn't taking any punishment for her selfishness, you know? And so because of that, that part of her never changed as she was growing up. And so she's a selfish character, and I'm going to talk about that shot in a second as well. There's so much I want to talk about. But it cuts both ways, because she's so self-centered that when Kyomoto dies, she thinks of it through the lens of herself. And so she can only think, like, Kyomoto had to have died because of me. Even though it's the most random accident that could possibly happen. Some guy put his art online, then saw an art school post some art that he thought looked similar to his, and he went fucking crazy, because he was clearly already crazy, grabbed a pickaxe, went to an art school where she was just sitting there for, like, just, you know, just hanging out, and he just took it out on her and murdered her because he's fucking crazy. There is nothing in that situation that links back to it being Fujino's fault. There's like no link there. Absolutely no link. Especially since Fujino in this scene tried to convince her not to go to art school. She shouldn't have been trying to convince her not to go to art school, but like that even shows, you know, this was purely Kyomoto's autonomy that brought her there. So Fujino is jumping through hoops because she, in her mind, is like, well, it had to be because of me, because that's how she thinks of life. She thinks of life through the lens of her, and how does it relate to her? And so because of that, she grieves extra heavily, thinking she is the problem. And that's really sad. And so I'm saying that not to bash on Fujino's character, but one, to praise it, because I think that's really consistent character writing, and two, because I feel really sorry for her, because that's the way she's always thought of things. That's why she ends up like taking it on with so much more weight. But then at the end, I do like the ending of her just like putting that blank comic up and then just drawing in front of it and pressing on. I think that's like a very nice way to end. Now, I love this shot so much because like that you have the classic, this is a kind of a classic filmmaking technique of like when characters having a disagreement, you put the cinematography so that there's a line between them. So like there'll be a person on this side talking blah 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 blah, and there's a line between them in the framing. And normally you have it like be a telephone pole or whatever, right? To show like they're having a disagreement. This did that, but I love, oh my gosh, I love that it's not just a line, it's a tree. And the tree has all of these branching paths coming off of both sides of it. So it's not just that they're having a disagreement and that they're split, it's that these are the like possibilities of their lives going in completely different directions. But there's so many of them, you know, like there's so much potential. Fujino wants to go into being a mangaka and making a series and doing everything that relates to that. You know, you'd probably go into she made fucking Chainsaw Man. Like she goes into having a really popular anime and stuff. And then Kyomoto goes into art school and starts like, you know, probably doing paintings and art pieces and going to museums and art galleries and all of that. And so their lives are just like branching off in completely separate directions, literally showing it by branches going in other directions. That's a gorgeous shot. That's one of my favorite of these kinds of split shots ever. Because I always like those split shots, but that's one of my favorites ever. Really, really beautiful. But yeah, I also like in this movie how very early on it shows like that, you know, Kyomoto does some beautiful background art and Fujino does like character art that's full of personality. And so early in the movie when I was watching it and I was like, wow, I like, you know, if I was reading that newspaper, you know, you'd glance at Kyomoto and go, wow, that person's talented. But I would be reading Fujino's one every week and being connected to that. And that's like also a me thing. Some people would prefer Kyomoto's type of stuff because they would like very good looking art and they would like to see the different perspectives that are drawn in that beautiful art. But for me, I'm a big character guy and I love, you know, personality in art. So like that's why this movie was great, and I love the direction of this film and the character illustrations and the character animations, because all of it oozed personality. Like everything that a character did. I mean, the movie started with Fujino just sitting at her desk, and it had like a good like 2 minutes of her just like scratching under her arm and like rubbing her feet together and like just, you know, leaning over and thinking, tapping her pencil against something. Like it started with just several, you know, like a couple minutes or like a minute or something of just pure personality in the character work. And that, to me, is like really, really great stuff. Whereas if it had started with like landscapes, which is more the Kyomoto style, if it had started with just like panning across landscapes and seeing her house and all of that, which, I mean, it kind of did. It kind of came down from the sky and went into the house and stuff. So I guess like in a way it did kind of start with that style, but like for me that wasn't the standout. For other people that would get people really in the mood for the film and that would get people really into it. But for me, that's not my style, you know. I don't like, I don't, you know, care that much about establishing shots. One of my least favorite classes I ever did in university, because I went to the university to study writing, creative writing, right? I did a course that was about environmental writing, and that was my least favorite course that I did in university, because it was like 3-hour classes and it was talking about environmental writing, nature, you know, poetry, all that sort of stuff. And it just is so far from what I love about writing that it was miserable for me. I hated that. And I mean, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League is one of my least favorite movies of all time. I don't often talk about things that I don't like, but yeah, like the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, to me is like one of my least favorite movies ever, because it's exceptionally long and I didn't sense any personality in any of the scenes. Like, it just didn't feel, it felt like it lacked personality in every sense, and there were a ton of establishing shots. Like, the movie, I feel like, starts with just a fuck ton of establishing shots, and you cannot lose me faster in a film than doing that. So but you know, I'm sure there are people who love that stuff, you know, and they were like, wow, this is gorgeous, because Zack Snyder does have gorgeous looking films. Like, the cinematography in his films tend to look amazing, but it just is absolutely not for me. So that's why I really liked this movie, like, at the start, showing the difference in styles, and we get to see, like, yeah, Kiyomoto's got more impressive background art, but you have this personality and this style and this character work to you that, like, she really loves and that other people would really like, you know. But obviously she's just hearing the criticism around, and she's also comparing herself to Kiyomoto's art, and that's, like, really difficult whenever you're comparing yourself to other people, because everyone does it in everything that they do, you know. I'm sure if you're a famous NBA player and you might be fucking Steph Curry, best 3-point shooter ever, you know, best shooter in the history of the game, you might still be looking at you know, LeBron and going like, well, I wish I could have that sort of longevity, or I wish I could dunk like that, I wish I could have that sort of playmaking or whatever. Yeah, like, you always, and then, you know, LeBron James would probably be looking at Steph Curry and thinking the same sorts of things. So I mean, it happens everywhere. I watch other people's reaction videos and I go like, I'm jealous of this thing that they have and this thing that they have. But then sometimes people come to my channel and they say like, I really appreciate this thing that you have that other reaction channels don't. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen no matter what. But once again, Fujino is just that kind of character where she is so in her own head that she struggles to be able to see like what's good about her own work, funnily enough. Like, she thinks about herself so much that she doesn't actually see herself properly. But yeah, that scene also early on where Fujino is told by Kiyomoto for the first time that like, I love your art, and then there's like a really long scene of her just like running home, but she's running home in the rain, and it's like really weird. This is such an interesting scene to me, and I think it's really well done, where it's like, I mean, look at that screenshot, but it's just like, it's full of like sort of very active, silly animation, which like really works, because it shows off very nicely how strange the character is. But also, like, that's, you know, sometimes you'll be like so excited you're doing fucking silly stuff. You know, you just want to, like, when you get so excited, especially when you're younger, and that energy goes all through you, where you feel tingly all through your body, and you just want to move, and you don't know where you're gonna put that energy, so you might just be doing weird movements constantly because you're like, fuck yeah, this is the best feeling in the world. But she's also trying to act cool and proud and stuff, because she's like, well, this doesn't, you know, I don't care, she's just one girl. Like, you know, we could have had a monologue in that scene of her saying like, I don't care, she's just a girl, it doesn't matter, it's just You know, like, I don't care what she thinks. I've given up art. You could have had all of that, but instead of doing that, and I mean, I say this as someone who I prefer monologues and dialogues and stuff because I love dialogue, but I think they made such a good decision in that scene to not have that, and instead, just all through her movements, she's doing this weird fucking dance, and you're like, oh, I get everything she's going through right now, everything she's feeling. It's really well done. Really great. And I think that is something Fujimoto is good at, because I do remember with the one shot that I read, like, the character movements, you could see kind of every little one. And he did, like, such a good job at, like, showing off what a character, everything that a character is doing. So I think that is, like, something that the one shot, I'm sure, did a very good job at. I kind of want to read the one shot now. I'm very curious to see how it was on paper. But yeah, this was something special, man. This was a very special movie. And I loved the relationship between these two characters. I'm so glad I watched it in dub, because the voice acting was so good in this. I don't think I know the voice actors. I'm pretty sure this dub was directed by Patrick Sates, but I don't think I know. I'll look them up right now, but I don't think I know who these voice actors are, because I don't think they're like the classics that you normally have in anime dubs. So the English voice actress for Fujino, who's really good, is Valerie Rose Lohman. Has she been in other anime? Oh, she's Rachel in Tower of God, which I mostly watched Tower of God in sub, but I watched season 1 in dub, and I remember liking Rachel's voice in that. So that's cool. But that's kind of the only other big part that she's had in anime. But I could also check if she's had big parts in things that aren't anime. Interesting. I have not played it, but in What Remains of Edith Finch, she was Edith Finch, which is very interesting. Again, I have not played it, so I don't know. But it looks like she's in, you know, a decent amount of stuff. Not a crazy amount, but a decent amount. So that's very nice. And then who plays Kyomoto? Kyomoto was played by Grace Liu. And Grace Liu is in the new Ranma half, or whatever it's called. Oh, she's Hana Sakamoto in Sakamoto Days. So she's very new, it seems like. It seems like in terms of anime, seems like she's newly getting into doing anime. Well, she's doing a great job, because like this part she did an excellent job with it. So yeah, I'm just very impressed by that movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It got me very emotional, but also like emotional in a good way. What I was saying before, I don't know if I ever finished my thought, but sometimes I get worried about something being emotional being senseless, being purposeless. I don't feel that was the case for this movie. I came away from this movie feeling better, you know, like I think that's kind of important, is that like it didn't destroy me, because I feel like it did have like an optimistic lens to it, and I did find it kind of inspiring towards the end. So I think they did a good job. Really cool movie. That's Look Back. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and you can go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. Yeah, go to my One Piece channel if you like One Piece, but thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.